What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're getting some new steering on the Jeep. I've always noticed a little bit of play in the steering box, and with these 37s I've noticed it a lot more off-road as well, that the pump really struggles as well as the box. I think it's mainly the box, why I'm gonna do the box first, and then I'm gonna eventually have a full PSC system in my Jeeps. But right now I'm gonna start with the steering box. So the install didn't look too bad, just a little bit heavy parts you have to move around. So without further ado, here we go, guys. So the very first thing I did for this install, and I didn't get it on video just because it's kind of a messy job, so I wasn't able to have a camera with me. But the first thing I did was I switched to the Swepco fluid that PSC recommends, so no longer using the ATF. So I was trying to do the best flush that I could. So what I did was basically I went to the reservoir here, took off the cap, and I used one of the siphoners that I bought from Harbor Freight. It was like $6.99 or something like that. I siphoned out all the old fluid, turned it on, let it all come through, and siphoned out as much as I possibly could. Of course, the rest of the ATF came out when I took off the line. So most of the ATF is flushed out. There's still a tiny bit left, so I'll probably do another flush here very soon. But that was the first thing I did for this install. Another big thing you're gonna wanna do before you even start this job is once you take that steering collar off, your clock spring can get messed up, causing you to have an airbag light on, and it's just a nightmare. So what you wanna do is get a strap, or in my case, I had one of these wheel locks, or whatever you wanna call these, anti-theft locks. So I went ahead and just put that on here to hold it, and I also put a strap on there too. But you wanna strap down to the brake pedal, up to the steering wheel, making sure it's tight and does not move, because that's not a fun thing to have to deal with after the fact. All right, so what we did to start with here is you want to take off the track bar, just makes your life a lot easier. We took off the drag link, of course. I already have the steering box out right there. Took that out. Next thing you want to do is there's a steering linkage bolt. You can access it from right up here. So you want to take that 13mm bolt that's located right there on the steering linkage, and you pull it back. Super easy to do. The hard part was getting these lines disconnected. They are 18mm bolts, or 19mm bolt, 18mm. You want to use like a box wrench. They weren't hard to get out once I got them started, but getting them started is the hard part. I had to go in from back here to get them. So I went ahead and did that. And then once I did that, took off these 4 18mm bolts here. You'll have to have someone pry back on the spring. So you want to have a buddy here to do that. You also want to have a buddy to get out the old steering box, because that was not a fun job at all. So once you get that down, you can leave the pitman arm on it if you're installing the big bore box, because it comes with a new pitman arm. So all you have to do is basically maneuver it out of the spot here, and then we're on to the next step. As you can see, the big bore box on the left is a huge difference between the stock box here. This is the bolt for the pitman arm here. Literally fits over this whole entire assembly. So big difference. As you can see, the bracketry is thicker, so it's stronger, better support when it flexes. The box itself is bigger, and the bore is absolutely ginormous. So I shouldn't have any trouble with the 37s now. All right, we got the box in. Not gonna lie, not very fun to get that thing in there. The hardest part is getting it positioned and getting the fluid lines connected. Luckily, I had a buddy with me to help with that. You do use the 2 supplied bolts on the left side from PSC. I'm not sure why I have that. I think they're a little bit shorter if I remember correctly. And then you use the stock bolts over here. So you only reuse 2 of the stock bolts on this setup here. It is a very tight fit in there. The only thing I really had trouble with was my wheel speed sensor line right here. You definitely have to move that, and there's a couple lines you have to move as well. But once you get it in there, it fits real nice in there. I've already bled the lines, so I got most of that done. It is extremely beefy. Make sure that you center it as far as the specs go with the red marks they have on there. That way your steering wheel is straight. So one thing I will 100% recommend with this job is you're gonna need a buddy. I will be the first one to say I usually do all the installs myself. I do not like asking for help, and usually I don't need help. But with this, it is nearly impossible to get that steering box out of there without some help. It is extremely heavy. The stock one's heavy, and the PSC is 15 pounds heavier. So it's even heavier to get the new one in. So you're gonna need a buddy just to help you fish the lines, get the bolts in. So yeah, definitely ask your friend, your neighbor to come over, preferably someone that's a little bit stronger, because it's gonna be a little tough to get that thing out of there and get the new one in. Alright guys, so just want to do a quick walkthrough with the box in. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to have a buddy hold back this black line. That way you can basically fish it through, because that is your ABS wheel speed sensor line, and if you pull on it too hard, it's gonna rip, and you do not want that nightmare. So what you're gonna want to do, have a friend pull that back or hold that back. As you can tell, it's a very, very tight fit here with that coolant reservoir line or box there. So it's gonna be very tight. I had to wiggle it in there. It took us probably about 10 minutes to 20 minutes to get it up there successfully. Just because it's so bulky and heavy, and it's kind of awkward to get up there. And then once you do that, you can connect the collar up there with a 13mm bolt, get it back on there, and then you can start to make sure everything's tight. Alright, and torque specs. So the torque specs on these bolts right here, if I remember correctly, are 70 foot-pounds, and so are the stock. So I got all 4 of these down to 70 foot-pounds, which was not hard at all. I just had to have my friend pry back on the coil here, because that's your hardest obstacle right there, is getting to that bolt. Even with a swivel, it was pretty tight. But as you can see here, the box is in there. It fits real nice. Again, one of the harder parts is getting the fluid lines attached to the top of the box. So what I did is I had a buddy hold it up here, and then I basically connected the lines, screwed them in, and got them as tight as I could while the box was disconnected, because it was just easier that way. But that was one of the harder obstacles, was getting the fluid lines attached. And then after that, really all you have to do, reconnect your track bar. I believe the torque spec for that is 125 foot-pounds. So I torqued that to 125. You gotta torque the pitman arm nut up there. Make sure you have a 46mm socket. I had to order them on Amazon. It was like 15 bucks. I'll put a link in the description for that. So not bad. It was a 46mm if I remember exact. Tighten that up to 180 foot-pounds or 185 foot-pounds. Then you reconnect your drag link here. You're probably gonna have to adjust your steering wheel just a tad. I was literally maybe a centimeter off on mine, so not a whole lot of adjustment needed, but you're probably gonna have to adjust it. But as you can tell, I don't know if you can really tell, but the pitman arm here alone is just super freaking beefy compared to the stock one. I'm definitely gonna feel a lot better being off-road with this one versus the stock steering box. Alright guys, once you get everything connected and you make sure everything's on tight, there's no leaks, next thing I did was you have to bleed the system. So again, I'm using the Swepco fluid that they recommend. I got this on Amazon. I got 4 bottles of it for 59 bucks. Now it is a little expensive. You can get it from Summit a little cheaper, but it takes longer to ship. So I got that in 2 days, which was really, really, really nice. And I also ordered this 46mm socket with it as well. So it actually worked out pretty well with that on the Amazon deal. But I would highly recommend using that fluid, because they say not to use ATF in there. I'm not sure if it voids your warranty or not, but I've also heard Swepco is just better fluid in general. So it should help with the steering and help everything stay healthy. But what you want to do is you want to take the cap off of here, and you want to have a buddy in the Jeep, and you want him to basically turn it up. What I did was I turned it on, let it run for about 4 seconds, turned it off, topped it off again. I did that 3 times, 3 total times. Then what I did was I had my buddy get back in there and I had him go lock to lock. And as he's doing that, I'm filling in the fluid because that new box is completely dry. So you're gonna wanna stay on top of that, otherwise you're gonna have some problems. So just make sure he turns it lock to lock. I did that process for about 5 minutes to make sure all the air, and you'll be able to tell all the air is out because you'll see little bubbles popping up. So you'll be able to tell the air is out of the system. All right guys, just to wrap it up, I just took it for a quick test drive and I'm gonna tell you right now, it is a tremendous difference in steering. Like I can turn it lock to lock with 1 finger. It was even a bigger difference than I thought it would make. So I don't have hydro assist, at least not yet. That's not in my cards right now, a little expensive. But I'm highly impressed with this upgrade, and I'm definitely gonna feel a lot better being off-road. The sector shaft is stronger, the box is stronger. Everything about this is just beefier and stronger. So it's gonna give you the confidence when you're off-road to not break anything, because that's not fun. Knock on wood, of course. But I would highly recommend upgrading to this box. The deal was not bad. I got it on Northridge store before. Like I said, it was like $8.50, and they had a $50 coupon. So it ended up being like 800 bucks. So they got it to me in less than 48 hours. So again, shout out to Northridge. Very impressed by that. But I would highly recommend this box. If you're going with the steering box or the normal stock steering box, it's like $650. So you're only going a little bit more for something stronger, that's gonna last longer, that's just better quality in general. And PSC is also a great company. So they responded to my emails very quick. They were very nice, very respectful, and very good to work with. So I was very glad to support them on this. All right guys, so to wrap it up, very happy with this upgrade. Very happy with this upgrade. I can't wait to take it off-road, see how it is with the tires aired down. This is just a great product. It's gonna make a huge difference on your Jeep if you decide to go with it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry I didn't have a whole lot of footage. It was a little hard. It was a very dirty, messy job. It wasn't a hard job by any means, but it just required a little bit of grunt work. Also, it's like 95 degrees outside, so I was drenched in sweat. Didn't think it'd be fun for you guys to watch. But I put as much as I could in here. If you have any questions about the install or the product, please let me know. I'm also gonna put a link to PSC down in the description. That way you can go and buy it if you want to. If you have any questions, you can ask them. So I appreciate you watching, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please like and subscribe for more Jeep and off-road content, guys. Have a good day.